UAP whistleblower Jason Sands has caused quite the stir over the past 24 hours as an interview with him has just dropped and he's detailed some significantly insane claims. And when I say that, I try not to use that term too lightly, but this is quite significant as he's gone on to talk about NHI allegedly returning for their downed crafts. He's talked about an alien, right, that has literally been interrogated on Earth, and just loads of other crazy shenanigans. Now, this interview that came out with him came on the Sources and Saints YouTube channel, and it's titled Government Whistleblower Reveals Face-to-Face Alien Encounters Jay Sands Interview. And in the description it states, Jay Sands featured in James Fox's film The Program and discovered by millions across the Joe Rogan Experience, all the rest of it. Not only was Jay an eyewitness to the infamous Nellis Air Force Base UFO footage, he also describes a face-to-face encounter with a blue-skinned alien while serving as an intelligence analyst. For the first time, Jay reveals the contact that never stopped. Just months before this interview, he experienced an orb floating through his home, one of many encounters in a lifetime of contact. Now, obviously, right, this is quite the bold claims to be making. Now, for anyone that doesn't know, right, Jason Sands became really popular early in 2025 as he basically came out on the Joe Rogan Experience and other podcasts describing Area 51 involvement and alien encounters which align with the declassification UAP reports but lack independent verification at this current time. Now, a clip in particular from this interview has been going mega viral. So, obviously, Jason Sands is a retired US Air Force veteran and self-proclaimed UFO whistleblower recounting a 1990s interrogation where NHI allegedly stated it would return in 50 to 70 years, which would make it around the 2030s, to reclaim its crashed craft, release prisoners, and exchange emissaries for Holloman Air Force Base. What? I'm sorry, but fucking what? Let's just take a little listen, because, like I say, this is madness.
Like, guys, what on earth did I just hear? Because this person said that they just finished interrogating this Eben, and that the Eben had said that they were going to be coming back 50 to 70 years from, either the 1990s or the Holloman Air Force Base, because that was also mentioned during the call meeting that was supposed to take place at Holloman Air Force Base. So 50 to 70 years, it's about 2030s ish is the window of time, but that they're going to come back and ask for their equipment back, their prisoners to be released. And then I think they called them, the emissaries could be exchanged. And I just was shocked. I was like, I can't believe it. I just listened to one of the most interesting things I've ever heard.
I mean, it's one hell of a thing to be claiming, isn't it? I mean, obviously, it's all smoke and mirrors as well at this current time. It comes with no viable evidence, as is typically the case with these things. I'm becoming quite cynical, I've noticed, in recent times, but I don't know, I just feel like I just can't be arsed with the smoke and mirrors and the, ooh, he said, she said. Like, just show me the smoking gun. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to claim it, back it up. But anyway, we just have to work with what we've got, don't we? Now, the entire interview ran for well over an hour and 40 minutes. I do recommend you go over to the channel that I stated earlier to check it out, because it is a highly interesting episode. And some of the things that are mentioned, I'll kind of briefly go over some of the key topics that really caught my attention, at least. So, one incident, obviously, is the intercepted conversation about a quote-unquote EBAN. Now, for anyone that doesn't know, an EBAN, right, stands for, I can't remember what it stands for now. What does it stand for? Bear with me. I'm trying to find it. I had it written down somewhere. I can't find it now. It's essentially, just give me a sec. I'm sure I'll come to it in a moment in my notes here somewhere. But basically, right, his role was in telecommunications monitoring. So Sands' team intercepted and analysed thousands of communications, including phone calls, to ensure security and detect potential leaks. And the accuracy of all of it was down to interpretation. But the EBAN conversation was one which was significant, and it was a call involved in an interrogator discussing an EBAN, which is an extraterrestrial biological biological entity. That's what an E-band stands for. I lost it in my notes there. And the conversation allegedly revealed that the E-band was being interrogated and claimed that their species would return within 50 to 70 years, circa 2030 to 2040, to reclaim their equipment prisoners and potentially at Holloman Air Force Base. The E-band allegedly warned that failure to return the equipment could result in severe consequences, including death for those involved. And this conversation shocked Sands and his team, as you can probably imagine, as it confirmed the existence of extraterrestrials and brings in their interactions with the US government. Now, you're probably wondering the history behind all of this. Now, the conversation referenced a supposed meeting in the 1940s, potentially with President Eisenhower, where extraterrestrials allegedly exchanged technology and beings for other considerations. Now, that's obviously the key point that we went over there, but there were also some talks about his work with the UAP Task Force and David Grush. So in 2022, Sands worked with the UAP Task Force analysing imagery like the Mosul Orb, and he collaborated with David Grush, a prominent whistleblower, and others to differentiate between known human technology and unexplainable phenomena. Now, Sands leveraged his experience in black programs to prevent the task force from pursuing false leads. And he also spoke about his collaboration with Grush, as Sands shared his experiences, including the E-band conversation with Grush, and their discussions helped frame a broader implication of UAPs and the need for transparency. Now, there's also the Nellis Air Force Base encounter. So in 1994, Sands was stationed at Nellis Air Force Base, working on the Black Mountain during the flag exercises to train air crews in surviving communications and radar jamming. Now, a week before Sands' encounter, a crew captured footage of a UFO on the Nellis test range, described as a quote-unquote chopped-up helicopter or shape-shifting craft. And the video later leaked to UFO researchers and featured the TV show Sightings, showed a craft moving in ways inconsistent with known technology at this current time. His personal encounter, so whilst travelling with a convoy to Black Mountain, Sands and his team encountered a craft matching the video's description, resting 50 yards off the road. A being dressed in military-style uniform, but with albino-like skin, blue tint, no ears, and large dark eyes, approached them. Now, with regards to the interaction, the being communicated both verbally and telepathically, requesting tentium, possibly a nuclear fusion byproduct, to repair its damaged craft. Sands, initially thinking the being was human and hypothermic, offered his jacket, but was unnerved by its appearance. Now, with regards to the telepathic communication, the being shared information about its damaged craft and directed Sands to a location near the Tonopah Gate, where nuclear tests had been left residual matters. And other convoy members appeared to be in a trance during the encounter, and Sands experienced missing time afterwards. Now, I don't know, it's just more of the same kind of stuff where it's like, oh, we know this happened, but we don't remember the details. Now, obviously, Sands has been scrutinised to the hilt with regards to his encounters, experiences, how he describes things, and all the rest of it. So I'm not going to, sit here and crap all over his experiences, because that's not fair of me to do. But at the same time, it is kind of like more of that we've seen where it's like, oh, this is what happened, but my sources trust me, bro. And it's like, that doesn't exactly fly. Now, the rest of it was about ongoing experiences, protecting and perspectives of UAPs, faith and bigger pictures. Basically the typical kind of interview questions that you expect to see with such a whistleblower. But obviously, the claims that he's made about the craft allegedly coming back potentially in the next 5 years to come and get their craft, and if we don't hand it over, then, there's going to be consequences to pay. That's a bit of a problem, potentially. And it's a bold claim to make. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. While you're down there, jump to get the hell out of that like button and subscribe. And until next time, I'll speak to you later. Peace.